Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, I'm going to be continuing looking at the Big Finish news for July and August 2024, and we're up to the 11th of July 2024, which is when Torchwood Art Decadence was released. Here we have the press release. So, the Torchwood Meets the Mara is what it's called. The Torchwood monthly range visits a new era where the Mara is slithering into high society on Earth in a full cast audio drama released today from Big Finish Productions. London in the 1920s, and Sir Reggie works for Torchwood, saving the world from alien invasions. Really, he relies on the services of his loyal butler while he paints the town red. But there's a new sensation in high society. What is the secret of the Serpentine Club, and can Forster save his master from it? Since it began in September 2015, the monthly Torchwood audio series has followed the Earth Defending Institute throughout its entire history, previously featuring adventures set as far back as the Victorian era and as far into the future as the 23rd century. Now a new period gets its time in the spotlight as Art Decadence takes us to London in the roaring 1920s that is, where the Mara, the snake-like god of beast, first seen on TV in 1982's Doctor Who story Kinder, has taken hold. Torchwood's top agent at this time is Sir Reginald Delafield, voiced by Wolf Golding, known for Game of Thrones and Andor, but Delafield is a blundering buffoon, and as the real talent behind the alien hunting work is his loyal butler AC Forster, voiced by Simon Kane. The duo who have outsiders to deal with not only wannabe footman Peter Jenks, voiced by Timothy Bloor, but also the supernatural power behind the mysterious Serpentine Club the Mara is waiting to feed. Torchwood Art Decadence is written by Ash Darby and directed by Scott Hancock, who is the script editor of 2024's Doctor Who TV series. Actor Will Golding described his brand new Torchwood character as this: Reggie is a posh idiot who's had everything given to him on a plate and is completely looked after by Forster. He's very polite to Forster, and on a subconscious level knows that he'll be completely useless and ruined and up the creek without a paddle without him. Co-star Simon Kane added, Forster is the butler valet right hand of Reggie, and he's also probably secretly in love with him, but is incredibly repressed. He's a veteran, very by the book, but very useful when it comes to protecting the Earth from aliens. He's the Jeeves to Reggie's Wooster, in the sense that he's the one who actually does all of the work. Please note, Torchwood contains adult material that may not be suitable for younger listeners, and that warning is put at the start of every Torchwood release, actually. But next up, we have the Vortex magazine, which, as I previously mentioned, is Big Finish's official free magazine, talking about everything Big Finish. So here's what was in there about Torchwood Art Decadence. Previously in Torchwood, the teams through the decades have faced a number of the Doctor's old foes, including the Fendal the Autons, the Giant Maggots, the Zontaran, and Margaret Slitheen. And now they're getting ready to take on a more slippery foe in the form of the Mara in July's release Art Decadence. The Torchwood series has explored various points in the history of the eponymous institute, from its origins in the Victorian era to its legacy in the far future via the 1950s, the modern day, and more. Now, a new period in Torchwood history will get its time in the limelight as Art Decadence takes us to London almost 100 years ago. One of Torchwood's top agents at this time is Sir Reginald Delafield, voiced by Wilf Scolding. But Delafield is a blundering buffoon, and the real talent to do most of the alien hunting work is his loyal butler, A.C. Forster. They've got outsiders to deal with, not only the wannabe footman Peter Jacks, voiced by Timothy Blore, but also the Mara even. London in the 1920s, and Sir Reggie works for Torchwood, saving the world from alien invasions. Really, he relies on the services of his loyal butler while he paints the town red. But there's a new sensation in the high society. What's the secret of the Serpentine Club, and can Forster save his master from it? First seen in the 1980s Doctor Who stories Kinder and Snake Dance, the Mara is a mysterious entity that takes over human hosts by their dreams and inhabits the form of a snake. Art Decadence marks its first Big Finish appearance since 2010's The Cradle of the Snake. Simon Kane, playing Forster, was very delighted to be involved in the story. Simon says, "I'm enough of a Doctor Who fan to know about snake dance and tattoos and snakes appearing in mirrors." Art Decadence actually does a really nice even explanation of the Mara, which I don't really remember from seeing that initial story. There's so much of Serpentine and original sin in it, but then when we actually hear what the Mara wants and how the Mara operates on a day-to-day basis in terms of why it started to project onto the Earth, that's really nice. Art Decadence is written by Ash Darby and directed by Scott Hancock, who is also the script editor of the current Doctor Who TV series. Here's the trailer for Torchwood: Art Decadence.
I show each civilization its true reflection, then listen to its screams.
From Big Finish Productions, Torchwood: Art Decadence.
Gah, ruddy things farting fire at us! Close shave! Did you ever think when I joined Torchwood that one day we'd been chasing giant space locusts through Green Park?
The thought had not crossed my mind, sir. I'm afraid the Serenax ambassador is threatening to leave the planet and take Surrey with him.
Surrey?
Surrey, sir.
Murmurs in town about the Serpentine Club. A few of the fellas have been. I tell you, they've come back changed, cruel. Something bad's on the loose.
You went inside the Serpentine Club?
Yes.
What happened there?
I can't, please.
What happened?
It was such a dark place. Inside, I saw it and I ran away.
They come from the inside. I am the inner beauty that the mirror doesn't see. I order chaos so I can feed off it, and there is so much chaos to come. Soon the whole planet will cry out.
And you will stop it?
No, I will make it scream better.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
What are you?
I am called the Mara.
That was the trailer for Torchwood: Art Decadence, which I've also reviewed, so go and check that out now. Next up, on the 12th of July 2024, the 4th Doctor 50th Anniversary Special, The Curse of Time, was announced. Here's what it says in the press release. A 50th Anniversary Special for the 4th Doctor. The Season 12 TARDIS crew are reunited in The Curse of Time, a full cast audio adventure celebrating half a century of Tom Baker's Doctor, due this December. In December 1974, the Doctor Who story robot kickstarted both the show's 12th season and the much-loved era of the 4th Doctor, and Tom Baker quickly won over viewers with his irreverent take on the Time Lord. To mark 50 years of his bohemian wanderings across time and space, Big Finish Productions today announces The Curse of Time, a brand new audio drama that ties into the storyline of the fan favourite Doctor's debut season. The iconic Tom Baker returns to the Doctor, while Sadie Miller and Christopher Naylor reprise their critically acclaimed performances as companions Sarah Jane Smith and Harry Sullivan, as originally played by Elizabeth Sladen, Miller's mother, and Ian Marter in the classic TV series. This special 4-part adventure, written by Jonathan Morris, is set immediately after the events of Season 12's final serial, Revenge of the Cybermen, and picks up on a story thread which began in the Ark in Space, as the time travellers discover what happened to humanity long after the events of the Centauran experiment. Here's the synopsis. After being dragged through a rip in the time vortex the TARDIS returns the Doctor, Sarah and Harry to Earth. They are in medieval times, but something strange is afoot. The villagers live in fear of the Sinister Brotherhood, an order of monks that upholds the sacred laws. Then there's Fortius Black with his troupe of travelling players. What connects them is a terrible secret hidden in the Forbidden Forest, a cave from which nobody has ever returned. The story guest stars Terence Wilton, who played Mark in 1974 Doctor Who story Invasion of the Dinosaurs, as the megalomaniacal Sabian Zixon, as well as Angus Dunnicon as the creepy magician Faustus Black, Scarlett Courtney as Arinka, and Rosemary Ash as Mother Casnevere. Producer David Richardson said, "Can it really be 50 years since the Fourth Doctor arrived in Doctor Who? And the wonderful Season 12, supported by the glorious Sarah and Harry, that really is something to celebrate, and I felt the best way to do it would be to return to 1975 and add an extra story onto the run." So, the Curse of Time follows on from Revenge of the Cybermen and comes before Terror of the Zygons as the TARDIS how have I forgotten? Terror of the Zygons as the TARDIS is diverted on its way to Scotland. Jonathan Morris has written a smashing tale that fits perfectly into both the Never Beacon arc and the Hinchcliffe years. Happy anniversary to the 4th Doctor. Next up, on the 13th of July 2024, this is the one that I'm really excited to talk about, the 13th Doctor Adventures was announced. Yes, that's right, the 13th Doctor Adventures was announced on the 13th of July 2024. Let's have a look at the press release. Now, I remember, because Big Finish sends stuff on socials, I don't know what the official word is, not announced because it's not, but they upload, like a post, there we go, they post stuff every hour. And normally, all announcements are Monday to Friday. It was Saturday, it was 1:33, which will become clear, well, it's the, no, 1:13 in the afternoon, which is 13:13 in 24-hour clocks, obviously with the 13th Doctor on a Saturday. And I remember seeing it and I was shocked and astounded. But that's my opinion. Let's actually read the press release to see what it says. Jodie Whittaker returns to Doctor Who. Big Finish Productions, in partnership with BBC Studios, today announces the first ever 13th Doctor audio dramas as Jodie Whittaker returns to the universe alongside Mandip Gill as Yasmin Khan. First seen on screen in 2017, Jodie Whittaker made TV history as the first female incarnation of the beloved Time Lord in Doctor Who. Now she's back in a brand new series of 12-hour-long forecast audio adventures in time and space, due to be released from July 2025. By her side in the TARDIS as ever will be her best friend Jazz, once again played by Mandip Gill. Jodie Whittaker said, "I'm over the moon to be joining Big Finish for more adventures in the TARDIS. Recording the 13th Doctor and Yaz is a really lovely thing to revisit. One of the things Mandip and I used to love on Doctor Who was getting in and doing a new episode and meeting a brand new cast. I just can't wait to step back into the boots. Pull on the coat and get cracking. One thing's for sure, it's going to be brilliant." Mandip Gill added, "Doctor Who has been a huge part of my career and personal life, and I am looking forward to seeing how I can further enrich my character through this exhilarating series. To be able to work with Jodie again is a dream come true. We have such a special friendship. I'm sure the recordings will be filled with laughter." Big Finish's chairman Jason Hay Gallery said, "This year Big Finish is celebrating its 25th anniversary of producing full-cast Doctor Who audio drama. So when we were given the license to create new stories set during the 13th Doctor's era, we immediately set to work. I'm delighted the inimitable Jodie and Mandip, who decided to return to their roles with us, and I'm excited to welcome them to Big Finish, alongside our two forthcoming series for The Fugitive Doctor, played by Joe Martin, which, as I previously mentioned, I think it was in yesterday's episode, will start being released from January 2025, and The Master, played by Sacha Dhawan, in a series titled, it'll be called Call Me Master, which will release in February 2025. 2025 has never looked brighter for the 13th Doctor and her fam. Big Finish's creative director Nicholas Briggs added, "Jodie and Mandip was so welcoming to me when I worked on set with them in the TV show. So I'm looking forward to repaying the compliment they're lovely people and they're full of enthusiasm in this project. So I should mention it works slightly different. So the last new Doctor that joined Big Finish was Christopher Eccleston as the Night Doctor, and those adventures. So it was 3 stories. So it'd be 3 hour-long stories in a box, and they believed every 3 or 4 months. I think it was. This is slightly different. It's going to be 1 story, so 1 hour of the 13th Doctor adventures every 2 months. So it starts in July 2025. I think the last one currently is May 2027. But we've actually got some more news about it, courtesy of Doctor Who magazine. So we know, courtesy of that, the first episode is titled Vampire Weekend. So that'll be the one that releases in July 2025. Another episode is titled The Lionesses of Winter, and the 13th Doctor Adventures will feature a villain known as the Tourist. Next up, on the 16th of July 2024, the cover for Torchwood Editions, the cover for it was released, which you can see on screen now, and that will release in October 2024. But that's actually where I'm going to end this episode of the Everything Podcast. But in the next episode, I'll be talking about Doctor Who, or start the episode by talking about Doctor Who novel adaptations, goth opera. But let me know what you thought about everything I talked about in this episode. I don't think I actually talked about... yes, I did. So let me know what you thought of Torchwood Art Decadence if you've listened to it, as well as the news I spoke about in this episode. And also put your suggestions in the comments below as well, and I will add them to the list. And depending upon how long they are, will depend upon how quickly I get to them. But yes, that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. So remember, you can also like, comment, and subscribe. But that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye.